Hey guys, please trust me when I tell you that doing the same problem with a different approach is going to help you improve in math. So we have the same problem. Which of the following numbers is not a solution to the inequality? Same inequality. What I want you to realize now is the following. The inequality has two sides, the left side and the right side. Both sides are linear functions of x. How can I know? Because a linear function is always of the form y equals a times x plus b. And as you can see, both the left side and the right side are of that form. So actually, we can rewrite the problem by saying, instead of 2 minus 1/2 of x, when is it less than or equal to 2x plus 7? For which values of x is it less than or equal to 2x plus 7? Let's call the first part, let's call it y1 of x. And the second part, let's call it y2 of x. So now the problem is, when is y1 of x less than or equal to y2 of x? So what we're going to do is represent y1 of x and y2 of x. How are we going to do that? By finding 2 points for each of the functions. So let's take for y1 of x. Let's choose first of all x equals 0, and we're going to have that y equals 2 minus 1/2 of 0, which is equal to 2 minus 0, which is equal to 2. Therefore, we have the first point, a1 is 0, 2. Now, let's take x equals 4, and we're going to have that y equals 2 minus 1/2 of 4, which is equal to 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0. And therefore, the point b1, 4, 0 is also a point for y1 of x. Now, let's move to y2 of x, and we are going also to find 2 points for y2 of x. Let's take x equals 0 just as for y1 and say that y is going to be equal to 2 times 0 plus 7, which is equal to 7. Therefore, a2 is going to be 0, 7. And then let's take x equals minus 3, for example, and we're going to have that 2 times minus 3 plus 7 is minus 6 plus 7, which is equal to 1. Therefore, b2 is going to be minus 3, 1. Now, what we have to do, having those 4 points, we can now construct we can now represent both functions by plotting them in this graph. And that's what we're going to do right now. As you can see here, we have the points a1 and b1 in the graph, and we just need to draw a line between them to have the representation of y1 of x in the graph, and that's y1 of x, and we're going to put it here, y1 of x. And now let's do y2 of x. As you can see, I just put points a2 and b2 in the graph, and the only thing left to do is to draw a line that goes through those 2 points in order to have the representation of the function y2 of x. So let's write that here, y2 of x. Now guys, please remember that the problem was telling us that y1 of x is less than or equal to y2 of x. And we can see the following, that here I drew a green line. What does this green line indicate us? It indicates us the following, that whenever x equals minus 2, then the 2 lines intersect each other, have a point in common, and therefore, case 1, y1 of x equals y2 of x. Why? Because we see that they have the same point. Case number 2, when we are to the right of the green line, we see that the red line is below the blue line, and therefore that y1 of x is less than y2 of x. And finally, we want to see that whenever we go to the left of the green line, we have that y1 of x is what? Is greater than y2 of x. Why? Because the red line is above the blue line. Can you see that? Now guys, I just wrote the options that they give us in the problem for us to see it with the graph, next to the graph. And we already know that the answer to the problem is A, but let's check that that's actually true. And you know how we're going to check it? Let's start by looking at points B, C, and D. Let's locate point D, 2.5. When x equals 2.5, we are in this position, we are in this line, okay? When x equals 0.5, we're here. When x equals minus 0.5, we are here. Now I hope you can see that in all 3 cases, the red line is below the blue line. We know that the red line is y1 of x. We know that the blue line is y2 of x. Since the red line is below the blue line, then y1 of x is less than y2 of x. So in fact, what we have is that these three options are actually solutions to the inequality y1 of x less than y2 of x. And by logic, they are also solutions to the inequality y1 of x is less than or equal to y2 of x, which is the inequality of the beginning. Therefore, these three options are solutions to the inequality. But wait, the question is asking us which of the following is not a solution. Therefore, by elimination, we know that answer A is the correct answer. But let's see it in the graph, since you insist. When x equals minus 2.5, we can perfectly see that the blue line is below the red line. But wait a second, the inequality of the beginning tells us when is y1 of x less than or equal to y2 of x, meaning, in other words, when is the red line below the blue line? For all, so all the x's where the red line is below the blue line fulfill this inequality. So which are the x's that do not fulfill the inequality? The ones that have the red line above the blue line. And here, for x equals minus 2.5, we can perfectly see again that the red line is above the blue line, and therefore they do not fulfill the inequality, and therefore answer A, x equals minus 2.5, is not a solution to the inequality. And since it is not a solution to the inequality, it is the solution to our problem. And thus, we are done. Thank you so much.